Okay, so back when back when I was listening to like Chris Hardwick's podcast, which is at the time Nerdist, I he had Donald Gleason on,
Yeah,
and I love Donald Gleason.
yeah,
Uh,
same.
and Donald Gleason, I think at the time was promoting The Revenant, but anytime he would say it with his Irish accent, he would say The Revenant, like The Revenant. I mean The Revenant. And so for
Hmm.
any time in my head, I read that title, and in my head it's The Revenant. It's not The
Gotta see
Revenant.
the Revenant.
It's The Revenant. The Revenant.
Yes. Have I told you that I saw that movie with my brother at like a 10:30 a.m. showing in a theater completely full with what I assumed to be a group from the nearest elderly care facility?
I think you might have mentioned that once. Yeah.
Yeah. I still love it. It's like the very elderly couple beside me when I saw Knives Out, or not Knives Out, Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just man,
Um,
DiCaprio was fine in The Revenant, but
Not Oscar worthy. I agree. Especially
Tom
he
Hardy
was
was so fucking good though.
that year. Michael Fassbender played Steve Jobs, and I fucking loved that performance. I was very upset because he was nominated too.
That was I can't think of his name, but Bridge of Spies I think won Best Supporting Actor.
Mark Rylance. Yeah,
Mark Rylance. I really like Rylance. Like Hardy more. If my
I
time
think
lines
he
up.
won, and everyone expected Stallone to win that year because Stallone hadn't won an Oscar, and they thought he was going to get like that lifetime achievement Oscar. But I think it's because they were giving it to DiCaprio, and they weren't going to give Stallone one too. If that's the same year, we might be mixing up 2 years. But I know that Stallone was up against Rylance, and I know that DiCaprio was up against Fassbender. I just don't remember if it was the same year.
I mean, I keep thinking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and like DiCaprio. I mean, I know it's not a hot take to say that DiCaprio was very good in it, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
like it's just quietly one of his best performances because I feel like he was just it's limited. Kind of felt like limited screen time, but so good.
He did interesting stuff, especially like when he was acting like a person who couldn't act.
Yeah,
Like that was very good. Yeah, like the weirdest thing about that movie to me about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is that like it didn't like Tarantino plays with the same people a lot of the time. And like
yeah,
yes, DiCaprio was in Django and Pitt was in Bastards,
hmm,
right? But like it didn't have all like the hallmarks. Like it didn't have Sam Jackson, like it did have Michael Madsen and Tim Roth, but like
hmm,
did Michael Madsen made it in, right? Did Tim Roth get cut
yeah.
out?
Michael Madsen was in. I don't remember seeing Tim Roth.
I think Tim Roth got cut out of the final cut. Yeah. Uma Thurman wasn't in, but her daughter was, right?
Yeah, she was one of the cultists,
The
but
Manson girls. Yeah.
she like I think took the car and drove off.
Maya Hawke. Yeah.
Maya Hawke.
Um. Yeah, she was Flower Child.
Flower Child.
It was all famous daughters. Was the I don't know why he did that. I mean, I know it was on purpose.
Shit. Yeah, Margaret Qualley.
Margaret Qualley, Harley Quinn Smith was one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was on purpose that he just got a lot of famous daughters, but I don't know what the reason was. Rumor
Just
Willis.
fucking
One of them was Rumor Willis. Like,
Tarantino. God.
I mean, yeah, it is just some Tarantino shit to do, right? Like, it's like he just called all his friends, like, "Hey, can your daughter be in my movie?" Wait, who did Rumor Willis play? Joanna Pettit. Oh, she was an actress. Never mind. Um, yeah. Is this? Hold on. This is Madison Beatty. Is she Warren Beatty's granddaughter, or just a similar name? I don't know. I don't think so. Uh. Anyway,
Oh, did you see that BB was in it as well? The
who?
actress who played Beatrix's daughter in Kill Bill.
No, I actually haven't seen Kill Bill.
Everybody was. I quite enjoyed Kill Bill, but I I don't
It's just like it's one that I need to see.
I wouldn't.
I've seen all of the I've seen Inglorious Bastards on, Django on. I've seen in the theater. I haven't seen Kill Bill. I haven't seen Jackie Brown, and the other two I just need to go back and watch. So, like Reservoir Dogs, I watched a million years ago, and then
Yeah, I've seen it all.
yeah,
I really like Jackie Brown. It feels more grounded than his other films, and um, I don't know. It feels like that one's not talked about.
What's weird to me is that he counts, like, because he says he wants to do 10 films, and who knows if he's going to actually stop after 10 or not. But he counts Death Proof as one and Kill Bill as one, which is weird to me, to count Death Proof as its own movie and also Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 as one movie instead of just counting Kill Bill as two movies and Death Proof not.
Yeah.
It's just a weird...
Well, I mean, that way just, same result.
Yeah, it's just weird. He can count it however he wants to, but it's a weird way for him to count it.
Yeah, looking at his Academy Awards, it's like, well, there's a grid that shows all of the awards. And so, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood got 2 Oscars. I know Brad Pitt, of course, won.
Yeah.
Was it... What was the other one? Best Production Design.
Yeah.
Which, okay. Hateful Eight had 1. Was that also like the costume?
I think
Morricone won his first Academy Award for Best Original Score.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Ennio Morricone. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Unchained and Bastards, of course, Oscar for Waltz, and Tarantino won the Oscar for the screenplay for Django.
Did Waltz win for
Yes,
Django?
he's won for both of the... Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I feel like, although he was extremely good, obviously, I feel like that category might have been a weaker year.
I mean, honestly, poor DiCaprio for that one too, because they could have just given it to him. You're gonna give it to fucking Waltz again, and DiCaprio sitting right there. He sliced his hand for that film.
Like DiCaprio was good, but Christoph Waltz, man.
I mean, it's Christoph Waltz. He's great.
Yeah, and of course, he won the Best Original Screenplay for Pulp Fiction.
And everything nice. I wasn't married to the weekend. I was begging on my back end. Kamikaze in Miami Vice. She shook a few of my favorite things.
Hello, helicopters, and welcome to Motion City Podcast, episode 9, 10, 9. 9. This is 9. Oh, next episode's 10. We should do something special for episode 10. I am Naim Siddiqui, joining me as always, Jacob Walton. How's it going, Jake?
Great. I love this song.
This is a great song. The song this week is Pulp Fiction, of course, a wonderful song from the album My Dinosaur Life. It is the eighth track, because the 9th track is AT-AT, of course. Or Qbert, as we have taken to calling it now.
Yes.
Officially, it's called Qbert now. That's the thing that Blink-152 does, is they call the 5th Blink-182 album is just called Blink-182, but it's unclear whether the album is self-titled or untitled. So they call it self-untitled. So now we're calling track 9 Qbert. Was there news? I think there might have been, like, not real news. I'll just mention. So Justin said the first chunk of recordings is done for his solo album.
Yep.
So they did six tracks in LA, and says coming soon-ish. So who knows? Also, Tony tweeted that he wants to do a solo record but doesn't know how to write songs. So, Tony, please do your solo record. I know you listen sometimes, so please make a solo record. We would very much love it, as we tweet it to you. And then
Josh is streaming on Twitch.
Yes, I actually was going to say that. Josh, that was the third thing I was going to say. Josh has been streaming on Twitch for the last couple weeks, about a month now, maybe a little more than that.
I guess he's done it kind of off and on, but now that the tour is back he's been
He's
Yeah,
been
he streams a lot. It's great. I seriously, it's so chill. It's like it is exactly what I like in it. He's friendly, playing games, chatting with the audience. It's his Twitch is It's Chewdy. That's ITSCHEWDY. Is that his Twitter handle too?
No, I think his Twitter handle is Joshua Allen Kane.
Yeah, one would think. But that's what it is on Twitch, and he's on pretty regularly. He was streaming earlier. He'll do 2 sessions a day. I've been watching a lot.
It's Joshua Kane, not Joshua Allen Kane. Yeah, I think Joshua Allen Kane is his Instagram. Joshua Kane on Twitter. Although his Twitter name is Joshua Kane, it's Chewdy, I think, to
Yes.
promote himself. I think something happened with Claudio, too, and I forget what it was. Is he in a band? I think he's in a band that did something. Maybe he released a new record.
Was it he posted on Instagram? I think I liked something that he'd...
I don't know if he posted something or Justin posted something congratulating Claudio or something like that. Now I'm going to feel bad if I just like, Claudio did something. Anyway, we're going to move on.
Oh.
I don't know. Claudio did something that is, I think, cool. I'm sure. I think they put out a record or is going on tour or something. I just don't know what band he's with now. It's killing me right now.
Well, at the top of his Twitter, at Claudio Rivera. Okay, yeah. So another thrice tour in the books. Best group of people I've ever worked with, and this was one of the smoothest and most painless tours I've ever done. Guys are gearing up to write and record new music, so this year we'll have some new adventures for me. Let's go! Yes, let's go, Claudio.
Got back from a tour.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so check out Thrice. Which I guess Claudio was in? I didn't realize that. Good for Claudio. Always happy for Claudio.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about Pulp Fiction. The song, not the movie. As much as I'm sure Jake would love to talk about the movie, I think I only watched it once and fell asleep halfway through.
But I mean, I like Tarantino just fine, but I'm not, it's not like
I feel like we're going to get hate mail from me saying I fell asleep watching Pulp Fiction. It was 10 years ago. I got to get back to it. I own it. I own it on Blu-ray, and I have not watched it again.
Dude, I could fall asleep. I absolutely could fall asleep to movies that, like, I'm loving, because I can just fall asleep that easily.
Oh, yeah, I fell asleep on Logan Lucky. Speaking of Daniel Craig, who may or may not have made it into the pre-show banter, I fell asleep, like, midway through Logan Lucky. I fell asleep during John Wick 2.
I don't actually get that.
I was tired.
Well then, yeah, okay, there you go. See, yeah, you're tired.
It was a late show and I was tired. Like I wanted, and I also hadn't seen John Wick 1, so I didn't have any appreciation of the character.
You've seen them all, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not like it's perfect. Like, anyway, all right. So yes, Pulp Fiction. I picked this song. Why did I pick this song? I don't know, man. I like this song. This is. I think this is my favorite song on my Dinosaur Life. Actually, I'm just. I'm looking at the tracks right now. Yeah, I think this is my favorite song on my Dinosaur Life. I really, really love the chorus, particularly. And I don't know. I like the cadence. Everything about the cadence of this song really like works for me. The ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like it's that, like, because I think the lyrics are really great, and then Justin's like trying to get as many words out in one breath as he can, the thing that he does well sometimes. Well, he does well every time, but only does sometimes. Yeah. I'm really into. What do you remember your first experience with Pulp Fiction?
It would have been on Pandora when I made my Motion City soundtrack station, and so it would have played for me on there at some point, and I definitely would have been immediately into it because from the start, slams, hits, love it. Um, not. I mean, it's definitely one of the songs I've listened to the most on my Dinosaur Life, and I don't know. I love the whole album. Feels like the Pulp Fiction kind of has that energy of the whole album as well, which is just that rock, pretty much rock that just keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It does sort of like work, I think, throughout the whole song. What's really interesting is My Dinosaur Life, every track on that album has those YouTube videos, the My Dinosaur Life track by track, except for this one. I looked, could not find. I scoured. I found a playlist of them. Like I thought maybe there would be a playlist of them, and one thing would be like blacked out. But not even that. Like I think it just isn't on.
I wonder if that has to do with the like the production around it, because on the Genius article it has the interview with Matt where he's explaining how like. I mean, I'll just read it verbatim. Pulp Fiction started as a mostly electronic idea. I had recorded at home on my laptop. I only had the verse and chorus parts at that time. I sent it to Justin while he was on a solo trip in Japan, which seems very relevant to, several of the lines in the
Lyrics.
song.
Yeah, for sure.
To see if he liked it. He put some vocals on it and immediately sent it back to me. Then we played it for the band and everyone liked it. So
well, what's interesting is because those videos are mostly like interviews about the song, like around the time the album is coming out. So I don't know. It may like it's possible. I feel like it used to be on there, and then for some reason, like isn't anymore. I don't know. I didn't even try to like, but I don't know like why like for what reason, because they own the rights to the song, obviously. So I have no idea. Let me see if it's on British YouTube. Let me see if I can even get into British YouTube on my my VPN. So yeah. So anyway, as far as other things about history, well, why don't you talk a little bit more about the song real quick if you have any other thoughts?
I can just start from the top.
Sure, let's start from the top.
Yeah, I feel like, I think this song could have worked at the beginning of the album. I get why they went with Worker Bee.
I don't know that it could have worked at like the first track.
Well, just just that immediately getting you in that energy.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like this has like a comparable energy to other first of album tracks.
It's a longer song though.
Yeah, but just that the guitar line that I can't describe, but the guitar that starts the song, and then
Are you talking about the
in.
guitar or the bass? Are you talking about the boodle doodle doo or the boom boom doom 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 doom?
Am I gonna need to play it? I think is it the guitar and the bass at the beginning of the song?
It starts off with bass. Here, let me play the real beginning of it, like the beginning.
Okay, do it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page now.
I love every part of that. It's just that going into what I thought was guitar, but I was watching a live video of it, and it looks like that's Jesse. That it looks like the strings is the synth.
Oh, interesting.
So that was the live show, but that's what it sounds to me like. It sounds to me very, very stringy, but obviously that synths can just sound that way now.
Synths can just sound synths sound like strings sometimes, for sure.
And then that might have just been the them deciding to do it that way on the live show, as they are wont to do. But yeah, just it starts strong, immediately gets into the heavy guitar, into that synth, into the drums, and then the lyrics. I feel like from the start, the lyrics are also the most. They're not abstract in the sense of like meaningless, but or when I say abstract, I think of abstract art. So I don't think of it as abstract that way. But where so many of their songs, it's like even on this album are talking about like personal experiences and experiences with relationships and drugs. For this to be kind of a deviation as a story that's not by subject related to anything else they've done seems unique. Like the subject matter itself seems unique, maybe among anything they've. I don't know what other songs they've have that's telling a story like this.
Well, what do you think the story they're telling is?
Well, I, I have written annotations on the Genius track, so I definitely have.
Yes, you have. All right, here.
There.
I guess we're doing Genius now. So first thing I'll say is this song really, like, lyrically, it blends in a lot of the pop culture reference stuff that I think on a previous episode I said I really enjoy. Like it's especially when it, like, sort of, I don't know, the cadence all works. You know, there's it's from Makeout Kids. I'm fond of Twin Peaks afternoons.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and there's a Twin Peaks
Grace
reference
L.
in this
Green.
song as well.
Yes. So right now you have Miami Vice, Cloak and Dagger, Seabury Quinn, Go Go Gadget Arms, Go Go Gadget Arms. Again, it's a thing that happens. Go Go Gadget Arms is the way he says it, but nobody says it like that. Nobody says Go Go Gadget Arms. They'll say Go Go Gadget Arms. What's the Twin Peaks one in here again?
It's the body found wrapped in plastic.
Oh yeah, wrapped in plastic. Yeah, wrapped in plastic. We all get the ends. So there's just like a ton of those, like, pop culture references in here. It also a lot in the next song on the track, which is Qbert. And there's also, you know, Her Words Is From My Planet has the Veronica Mars at the top, and I sold my Xbox. Like, for me, it's just a lot of it's just like that's the way I talk, and who knows? I don't know how much of that is because of Motion City Soundtrack, like how much they influenced my experience, or how much my enjoyment of them was influenced by them doing this kind of thing. But I get it, right? Like I just talk that way, right? I just talk in pop culture references a lot, so I like hearing it in music, even though I know some people think it's like pandery, sounds like cheap pops. For me, it just like, it's cool because, you know, that's something that Ben Folds said on his NPR Tiny Desk concert. The song Emmeline, he wrote that song when he was like 17, which or 19 or something like that, which frustrates me because it's so good. And but he said, like, you know, he used to start writing like Baby and I Love You, and like, this is like not the way he talked, and he realized he could, like, you know, he could just write the way he talked and say, like, words like stupid reasons, and make money metaphors. Money talks but never listens. And like, for me, like, that is such a breakthrough, right? Like, just write the way you talk, and obviously you got to make it rhyme, but if you can just write the way you talk, that's what's gonna, you know, whether or not people get every single one of the references, which I didn't, right? Like, I never watched Cloak and Dagger, and I never watched Twin Peaks, but like, if you just write how you talk, people are gonna understand that better. It makes more sense. So like, Justin watches a lot of movies, right? Watch a lot of movies and TV. He just knows a lot of pop culture. So putting the pop culture in the song, just the way he talks, makes it feel more authentic to me.
I love how this song is. I mean, I love it with the more I read the lyrics for every song, the more I like how he writes lyrics.
Yeah.
But I feel like this in particular just feels so much like him doing what he wants with structure and sentence link and syllables and even rhyming, and just like, you know, there's that thing in writing, and it's really in any creative format where you learn the rules and then you do what you know, the masters do what they want. And you know, even then I don't know his actual background in studying any of this, but
I think he went for film to school.
What do you studied, like screenwriting, and
I don't remember for sure. I think he also dropped out.
Yeah. Well, of course, that's you know, when you're writing lyrics, you of course get better at it, but to have that predisposition to be someone who wants to write music.
He went to Minneapolis Community and Technical College for film, but did not complete a degree. Yeah.
Latent talent is what I'm getting at. He has the you know, the obvious talent for it. So
we were talking about the Genius annotations. So let me go through some of those real quick. The Cloak and Dagger has one, but somebody mentions the Marvel comic, which is, I don't think the reference. I think it's the 80s movie Cloak and Dagger, and also Cloak and Dagger, like, doing spy stuff. Seabury Quinn, which is a reference that I did not understand until today, apparently was a pulp magazine writer, which makes sense, like Pulp Fiction. That's one thing. So this song, at first I just assumed this song was named after the movie Pulp Fiction, which is funny because, the other song, track 2 on this album is A Life Less Ordinary, which is named after the movie A Life Less Ordinary, but has nothing to do with it. This song was not named after the movie Pulp Fiction, although I'm sure Justin likes the movie, but it was just named after actual pulp novels and stuff, like actual pulp fiction. So it's just like both things were named after the same thing, but one was not an inspiration for the other. Which is, I don't know, it's cool. if you just assume, like, came out 15 years later.
It's funny that you mentioning that just now about the movie Pulp Fiction versus what, like, classically thought of as Pulp Fiction, which I thought is, I think Pulp Fiction classically does maybe refer to stories with some violence in it, but I always associated with detective comics.
For sure.
Not comics, but detective stories.
Yeah. No, Detective Comics is where Batman's from.
And I don't think of Pulp Fiction as a detective. The film is having any sort of
no, yeah,
detective.
But like it is a little pulpy, right? Like it's got some of the pulp elements to it, but I don't know. Tarantino's a more violence, like, heavy director, besides Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which does have the one Tarantino-ish scene at the end. But
Tarantino-ish, full on, and then some.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, has the one, like, Tarantino scene at the end, but obviously it's all Tarantino scenes,
my
right?
mom saw it. She thought it was great. I loved that. She really wanted to see it. I'm like, okay, this is Quentin Tarantino. She's like, it's fine. Yeah, she loved it. All right, heck yeah, mom.
But no, so I took my dad to see that movie, and he liked the movie a lot. But it's funny because my mom was a little upset because we usually watch all the Oscar movies before the Oscars, but I didn't have a lot of time this year, and also, like, she was out of the country for a little while. It was whatever. But, like, even I had only seen 3 of them, and one of them was Joker, which I knew she wouldn't like. One of them was Ford vs Ferrari, which she might have liked, and one of them was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I took my dad to see, and I sit there with my, like, I was like, Mom, you will not like this movie, and, like, I looked at my dad, I'm like, Dad, you remember the movie? He's like, yeah. I'm like, would Mom like it? He's like, no. So we, like, it's just not her kind of movie. So and that's the thing, right? So detective, spy is detective adjacent, right? Cloak and Dagger, spy, detective stuff.
Yeah.
Go Get At Arms. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. And then it's like a bad dream, something to the back of a magazine. That one is actually, so the Genius Annotation also mentions the BuzzFeed article that we talked about for Makeout Kids, which mentions, so Justin says, I was thinking of Twin Peaks in particular. There's a scene where Agent Cooper finds a safety deposit key in Laura Palmer's diary. They pull out a magazine and they're looking through it, and they find a connection between her and this other guy, and I was just thinking of Black Mask magazine. That was kind of the image that came to mind with that. Which, I don't know, like, that I get it, but for some reason, like, that line has always resonated well with me. Like, it's like a bad dream, something from the back of a magazine, black and white and cheaply put together. Like a slasher film and torn in opposite directions. The plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous.
Yeah,
which is also like,
Black
I don't
Mask
know. Like,
magazine
I've never...
is a pulp magazine featuring, detectives, crime,
sure,
that sort of thing.
Yeah. But I don't know, like that chorus, like every part of the chorus always resonated with me, even
Absolutely.
though, like, maybe I didn't get every part. Like, I never read pulp magazines, but like a bad dream, something from the back of a magazine, black and white, cheaply put together. Get that. Like a slasher film torn in opposite directions. The plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous. And I'm not into slasher films either. Like, I don't like slasher films at all. But like, I get, like, a movie, like, I totally can feel a movie where I don't think the movie's very good, but there's all these little elements of the movie that I think are great. And, like, I don't know, that just, like, resonates. Darkened corners at every bend, I wasn't sucking down the poison. That has the annotation from one XFIP minus with a Mountain Dew bomb blast avatar.
I wrote this, and then I feel like, but this should be, like, painfully obvious, right? Yeah, he's at a bar. He's not drinking. That's Maybe
I
it's
was
obvious
working on
because
the
I wrote it, but
No, but I think it makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about it. Like I sometimes I just don't think about the meaning of lyrics, so I never thought about it. So I'm glad you put it on the Genius annotations because I wouldn't have even considered it. Maybe if I sat there like reading every part, but I didn't think about it. I was working on the QT, which is, I mean, it could be a Quentin Tarantino reference. I'm fairly certain it has nothing to do with Quentin Tarantino.
No, I know it means on the down
I don't
low.
think it
I
is.
know it means it's on the down low. I'm saying I just feel like he's like
yes. Of
also
course it means on the
aware
down
of
low.
the-
Yeah, we're so yeah. With no question, it means on the down low.
Yeah.
You're right. Why isn't he saying I was working on the down low? Why is he saying I was working on the QT? Maybe it's a little nod, like
Well,
just a little like
it's the pulpy term. It's good. It sounds good, and it's
Sorry.
the perfect combination of like it is relevant in every way. Oh, and also Quentin Tarantino's initials. I don't know. I obviously I believe that it's not
agree,
that,
right?
but it's just I am of the it was intentional or that he understood he that is I think he knows that the Quentin Tarantino initials.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's tweet him. let's see if he responds. Because I agree, right? He could have said I was working on the down low, I was working on the hush hush, but he says I was working on the QT. But I don't know, like, was the song even titled by the time he wrote that line? Like, who knows? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it is just a coincidence.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, it does feel like he didn't need to say QT, but to specifically say QT, which happened to be Quentin Tarantino's initials, who also happened to direct a movie with the same title as this song, does seem like a too much of a coincidence to not be at least somewhat on purpose.
I do think other than that, like the lyrics of the song are pretty straightforward, since I do feel like he's mostly telling a story in pulpy words.
Yeah.
But I don't have the faintest idea what I had the martyrs that I bartered from the barons for the bandoliers line is supposed to mean.
The martyrs that
I
I
could read
bartered.
it literally, or like close to literally, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, like, karaoke, her feminine flaw, like, that just feels like a pulp line.
Yeah.
Like, karaoke, her feminine flaw.
Well, that's so weird. So feminine flaw, I feel like that's I thought that had been something like I'd heard as an expression, like for something to be called a feminine flaw, but I like Googling feminine flaw will just
You're right.
eventually turn up.
It really does feel like just like a turn of phrase that people use,
Yeah.
but now that, like, when I think about it, I don't think I've ever heard it anywhere else.
I don't. The thing that reminds is just like kind of a like a hero's weakness, like feminine flaw, like, oh, you are loving and motherly, like that kind of thing. But I don't like that's what I kind of associate with it, but I can't. Again, if you Google just feminine flaw, eventually it turns up this song. Like there's not a, and if you Google her feminine flaw, it is just the song. So I guess it just sounds like something that is an expression, but it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because they didn't make a music video for this, but I could totally like picture like a pulpy music video for this.
Yes.
Which is like so for Justin's solo record, he did a music video for every song, and some of them had more money put into them than others. But because I think they gave him money to like, okay, make 2 music videos for this album, and he's like, what if I used the money you gave me for 2 music videos and made 7 music videos? And they were like, yeah, I mean, are they gonna suck? And he's like, nope. And they're like, all right, do it, I guess. Like that's basically what happened. I don't remember what interview that I heard that in, but it was basically he was just like, yeah, can I just make a bunch of them? And he's like, all right, sure, like whatever. And so he just made like a bunch of music videos because he likes making short films, right? Like it makes sense. How many? 10. Yeah. So like I think they asked him to make 2 or maybe 3, and gave him not a lot of money to do the 2 that they gave him to make. And he's like, I'm just gonna make 10. I'm like, all right, fine.
Thrifty.
Yeah. So like it's kind of like a Lemonade type thing, like a visual album. That's what I was looking for. Except for the first one. Like there's one that's a straight up music video, and the rest of them are supposed to be like interconnected. But I actually haven't watched all of the In the Drink music videos. So The next genius annotation is also from this gentleman, XFIP minus, which says, it's from the line covering the tracks that have brought you there, which you say is a Shining reference?
I don't know that it's a Shining reference, but I've been on a Shining kick lately.
Yeah.
And covering the tracks that brought you there like a slasher film, Shining is a one of the early forerunners of the slasher genre. Is that I don't like horror movies, so I don't really know.
I don't think it's a slasher, but it is like a horror.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like slasher to me says like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Where like it's a bunch of people getting killed. Where Shining is not that, right? I haven't seen The Shining, but it's just him trying to kill his wife and daughter, right, or son or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the
son,
movie,
right? Because he's Ewan McGregor in the sequel.
Yeah, in the movie, Danny escapes from the hotel. Jack follows him into the maze, and Danny hides his tracks. Like he brushes them off.
Yeah.
Hides.
Well, that makes sense, right? Because he hides in the hedge maze too, and it's paranoid and frozen in the heathers.
Right. Well, then Jack Nicholson, of course, there's the famous shot at the end of him having frozen to death.
Sure.
And I couldn't figure out the heathers line.
Heathers are a shrub.
Oh. Yeah.
So,
that's got to be.
Yeah, you should probably edit this annotation to be both those lines.
Yeah.
Because he hides in the hedge maze, in the snow-covered hedge maze. He's paranoid and frozen in the heathers. Totally, like it totally lines up. Actually, I think you might be 100% right on this.
Nailed it.
I didn't know heathers were a shrub either until I read the song meanings, which we'll get to in a minute.
I knew it was a plant. I didn't realize that it was like actually.
I don't know if it's a plant that's used in the hedge mazes, but like I know it's a plant now, and it makes sense that maybe he again took some artistic license to be like heathers, like a plant, okay, like the hedge. He might have honestly previously been paranoid and frozen in the hedges, and he just liked the word heathers better.
Yeah, heathers does sound better.
Just guessing,
hedges is also probably maybe on the nose.
Paranoid and frozen in the hedges like a slasher. Paranoid and frozen in the heathers like a slasher.
Heather sounds better.
Heathers definitely sounds better, but I could see it having been hedges initially, and then just like, oh, maybe Heathers sounds good here.
Yeah, Heather's not really. It's not really a hedge.
No, it's not really. But I feel like that's still the I feel like it's still the line. I feel like it's still a Shining reference, but maybe it's just because you said it and it makes sense.
You've been primed.
Yeah. Wrapped in Plastic, as we mentioned earlier, that's a Twin Peaks reference. And Justin, as we know, loves Twin Peaks. Had to take it to the majors, couldn't keep it on the down low. Somebody named XFIP minus suggests song's a story of a private investigator quietly trying to find a missing woman, you say, and then does it, but she's dead, so he goes to the cops, a.k.a. the majors.
Yep. That's the story of the song. Tries to find her. She's dead.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. I another stiff at the scene of the crime, obviously.
That just seems like, but aside from that line seeming very obvious, it also is like, yeah, of course there's a body at the scene of the crime. That's where it happened.
Right.
I like it. I just
maybe there's two stiffs at the scene of the crime.
Another stiff at the, I don't know. What? Hold on now. Silly rabbit. Good grief. Tambien, which is Spanish for also. There's another dead body.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Good grief. Also another dead body.
She had to take it to the majors. Hold on, because you said he didn't take it.
Wait. Waiting for the big man to get me. Because this line to hit, him thinking...
Is he dead too?
Is he
He dies! He's dead! She took it to the majors. He's the one who dies.
Oh, shit.
Wrapped in Plastic, we all get the end. She had to take it to the majors, couldn't keep it on the down low. Silly rabbit, good grief, Tommy, and had to step to the scene of the crime.
Hold on.
I think he's the one who dies.
Should do a cover. Is that what this is? Wait.
I mean, I don't know.
I believe it.
I feel like he's the one who's dying. Yeah.
Same.
I feel like it's got to be. I feel like that's the twist at the end. I want to make this music video now.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah. Waiting for the big man to get me.
So we got your interpretation, and now our interpretation which is because he definitely dies at the end. It's got to be. Someone dies. It's definitely not her because she goes to the cops. But why does she go to the cops and not him? She takes to the majors because he died. I think that's got to be it. Either that or it's like she hired him and then somebody else died besides him and she took it to the cops. But I think it's him dying. I think it's got to be.
No, it's such a pulpy end for him to die and she goes to the cops.
Yeah. Man, I love that.
Man.
That's really, it's honestly, I think it's really clever. So real quick from songfacts.com, we already got the Matt thing, but also, no, never mind. It's the same thing we already basically said. The lyrics were written by Justin during a break in songwriting while he was vacationing in Japan, and they tell a story of a stranger in a strange land.
By the way,
and then name check a bunch of things.
He's just on a vacation and he turns in this song lyrically. Fucking casually writes just
writes. Yeah.
This. Yeah, I'll give it. I'll take a peep at it.
So from songmeanings.com, as we love, somebody says, first order of business to find the meaning is to look at the pop culture references. So Cloak and Daggers, the 80s spy movie, Miami Vice, the TV show, Seabury Quinn. Chorus is a depiction of something I'm not sure about. About 50% of the reference in the song refer to Twin Peaks. Wrapped in Plastic. Major is a character in the show, Major Briggs, which I don't think that's right. I think it's like you said, it's the cops.
I can just generically refer to the government.
Yeah, for sure. Someone says it's about a relationship where all that's going well is the sex. I don't get that necessarily. Smoke and mirrors and everything nice. I was married to the weekend. I was banging on the back end. Yeah, I don't know. She shook a few of my favorite things. She only took me for 10,000 yen. I mean, I'll read pretty straightforward as a detective.
Because she took me for 10,000 yen means she paid him 10,000 yen?
Yeah, because he's the detective. She paid him 10,000 yen to detect for her.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And also, if I remember correctly, Inspector Gadget was a detective. In fact, he was an inspector. Go Gadget Arms. Someone says, for me, this song relates perfectly to my current situation. Looking at the main chorus, I would say it's about a guy getting mixed signals from a girl he has feelings for.
You can take that if you want to be really boring.
Like a bad change, something in the back of I don't know. I'm torn in opposite directions. Plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous. Honestly, I kind of get it, but not even really. Someone thinks it's about the movie.
End with everybody dead.
Someone thinks it's about the movie Pulp Fiction, which we know is not true, but also the theme makes no sense. The plot sucks, but the killers are gorgeous, which ignores the part that it says a slasher film. And also, I don't think the plot to Pulp Fiction sucks.
Yeah. And the killings in it aren't really... They're not...
I hate to be one of those guys that tries to relate every single song on Earth to relationships, but I think this song was written about some troubled relationship. Yeah, I don't. Just failed relationship stuff. Songs be about a girl who came into his life, really flipped him upside down, seemed to be everything he was looking for, but then it became apparent it was probably too good to be true, and it sucked. And that's the thing, right? If we look a little deeper, you could probably see the relationship stuff in here. I buy it. I buy that it's, you're looking through the relationships through the lens of a pulp novel, and her going to the majors, she had to take it to the majors, couldn't keep it on the down low. That's going to replacing him with somebody better. And another stiff at the scene of the crime is him, it's a metaphorical death, getting dumped. But
I just feel like that's reading too much into it.
Yeah.
I cannot read Justin's mind. I don't know. Maybe this is just.
I got from it that he cheated on his girlfriend with an Asian woman, probably a prostitute, since she took him for 10,000 yen. And the girl played into his fantasy with all his pop culture references and such, and then went around telling everyone she slept with Justin Pierre, had to take it to the majors, couldn't keep it on the down low. And now he's just waiting for his girlfriend to hear the news, waiting for the big bang to get me, and he's torn in opposite directions and is hoping it's all a bad dream. I don't think it actually happened, but I like that interpretation.
Yeah, I don't. It just feels like they're stretching to make it all fit.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean,
yes. It feels like I can see this. I can see the stretch.
Oh, and the Go-Go Gadget arm refers to the Asian chick giving a good hand job. you're right. She took me for 10,000 yen. Sounds like you paid her 10,000
Right.
yen.
Well, that's what I'm not sure about. Like on surface value, that is what it seems like it could be, but I feel like that phrasing is ambiguous.
Yeah. Huh. She tried to cut with it every turn. Keep it close. Yeah, I don't know. It's really. It is interesting. I wonder.
I just want to know
Gotta
what
find
good grief Tambien, aside from.
Good grief. It's Charlie Brown. Which is funny because some people thought the lyric line is good dream Tambien. Somebody mentioned that maybe it's like Donnie Darko.
Good dream Ambien.
Oh, good dream Ambien. But yeah, they thought it was like a Donnie Darko reference, but the line is good grief Tambien.
Good grift
which
Ambien.
So I
Silly
don't know.
rabbit. Do people report like seeing animals on sleep meds?
I'm sure, yeah. Well, it could be what is it? Harvey? Something with Harvey?
What?
Harvey, the play? Do you know the play Harvey?
I'm not familiar with this.
It's a play where this guy they made it into a movie too in the 50s with Jimmy Stewart. So Jimmy Stewart like sees a giant rabbit, and nobody else sees this giant rabbit. Only Jimmy Stewart sees the giant rabbit, and it's called a puka. So you also don't see the giant rabbit, but the whole movie he sees this giant rabbit, and you're just like, you kind of don't know if the giant rabbit is real or not. Like sometimes the giant rabbit does things, and you're just like you never know whether or not the giant rabbit is a real giant rabbit or just hidden. Because it's not like you see sometimes from Jimmy Stewart's perspective where you see the rabbit. You never see the rabbit.
See, I just want filmmaker, whoever did the marketing for The Invisible Man, to take note, because that seemed like a good premise for a movie, and they gave away the whole movie in the trailer.
Anyway, that's hard.
Is a rabbit revealed at the end of that movie?
In Harvey? No, you never see the rabbit.
Yeah.
The rabbit is invisible.
But there's a rabbit?
It's a good question.
Exactly. It's not a question in Invisible Man. You literally see the like fucking chameleon camo break on him. Well, there you go.
But yeah, you are never sure whether or not the rabbit exists in Harvey. It's a 6'3" rabbit.
Reminds me of I think it's Scrubs or JD.
Yes, I believe that is a reference to Harvey. Actually,
is the name of the rabbit Harvey?
No, I don't think it is, but I believe that's a Harvey joke. I don't know if it is for sure. It's because it's got the body of his gym teacher or something like that. Yeah. I remember. I believe it's a Harvey reference, but who knows? Rabbit in a tracksuit. Who was it? A gym teacher with a rabbit mask on. Yeah, I don't know. But that is how I imagine Harvey now because of that Scrubs episode. All right, we went to song meaning, song facts, song genius. You got anything else? Any other thoughts before we move on to covers and alternate versions?
I think we have gone over it, and then again and again.
All right, so we're gonna go to a couple covers now. First up is this Synthesia piano playthrough, which I'm gonna play the best part from it, but it's only kind of okay. Here is the Synthesia, and if you find this one on YouTube, there's a MIDI file download too. So good luck. This playthrough is the result of playing a guitar tab through Synthesia. All right, cool. Here is the motion soundtrack Pulp Fiction Synthesia piano playthrough. So, that's fine. Sometimes I watch some of these Synthesias and I'm like super duper impressed, Have you seen the one that...
I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's like, yeah, good songs converted to piano works out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like this one was sort of just okay, and there's much worse parts of it. But like, yeah, like there's some of the really good ones. Like there was the one that's like anyone that says impossible on it. A lot of times is really impressive to me because they put so many different parts of this. Like they play like I think there was one for like the Pirates of the Caribbean song, He's a Pirate. And it's just like they play every part of the orchestra on the piano because you can. Like that's something you can do with like otherwise why not just play the piano? Because you can't play the piano? Sure, fine. But then why do I care? Why do I care about the Synthesia cover? Play it on piano or make it impossible to play on piano. Like one of the two. For me, that's where I'm at on those things. Personally.
No, I like the piano covers.
No, I'm fine with a real piano cover. All right, here. So now we got a couple of acoustic guitar covers. The first one, I'm gonna. I don't want to say worst to best, but the first one I'm gonna play. This I think is a pretty good cover, but I think the camera is low, so it's hitting the guitar before it's hitting the vocals. So the vocals are a little quiet. I think if she recorded from higher up, you would hear it a little better. But this is Michelle Lynn on YouTube. Here we go. She also says "Frozen in the Heavens," which I think was what some of the old lyric sites used to say.
Did you also notice that the video was in a kind of like a black and white?
I did, yeah. Which is, neat. I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
I think it was on purpose. I think she put the filter on there to make it look like.
I think you're giving this what appears to be a 15-year-old girl at the time, probably it's just 10 years ago. She's probably
black and white webcam.
30 now. No, I think she probably put a black and white filter on it because she thought it was edgy. Like that's the thing people did around the time.
You take your belief. I'm gonna believe that she did all the effects on purpose.
You believe in man. But I will say every other video on her channel is either black and white or sepia. So
oh shit.
Sorry, bud. I think I win.
Boom.
Not every single one. There's a couple that aren't, but most of them are black and white or sepia. So I believe I win this one.
You set me up.
I honestly didn't. I literally just saw that. I checked. I'm like, well, let me see the other videos. And I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm right. I win. I clicked on her page, and the first thing is calling all cops, also black and white, which makes a lot less sense for that song. All right, this one it says bootleg. I believe he did this at like an open mic night or something, and somebody recorded it from the audience. So I picked the part that I thought had a little bit less of the a little bit higher quality. So here is Cameron Degursky. This one's from SoundCloud.
Like a nightmare covering the tracks, CD brought you there, paranoid and frozen in the hill. It's like a slash of film on 20 hours of duration. Plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous. Oh, goddamn, these killings are gorgeous. Oh, goddamn, these killings are gorgeous.
I would really like a not quote-unquote bootleg version of this because I think that's really great. I think that's really excellent. Yeah,
making it his own, or
absolutely making it his own, and like I don't know, he has a good voice. Like everything about this is cool. A bunch of his other stuff says folk, singer-songwriter, R&B, soul, and that makes sense. I think that's the voice he's got, like a folk soul type sound. Actually, kind of like not exactly like Patrick Stump, but like the same sort of oeuvre as Patrick Stump, in my opinion. because Patrick Stump also has like a very like soul heavy voice, a very like, I don't know, indie / soul voice. So to me, I think it really works well. This one is also from around 8 years ago, just like that the first one. This is Hysteriaddict 817 acoustic guitar cover. I also really like this one, so here we go.
Smoking mirrors and everything nice. I wasn't married to the weekend. I was banging on the back end. Kamikaze in Miami Vice. She shook a few of my favorite things, like Logan Dagger, so Seabury Quinn. I couldn't keep it all together. I was screwed in the end zone. Arigato, go gadget arm. She only took me for 10,000 yen. It's like a bad dream, something from the back of a magazine, black and white and cheesy.
You know, I was watching that one earlier, / listening to that one earlier, and I liked it, but I felt like he needed more confidence. Like,
I agree a little bit. Yeah, I think it's very sort of straightforward, but and I mean, obviously, it was 8 years ago. Like, he looks like is in like a college dorm room.
Yeah.
And he's still doing stuff. Like, he posted his last thing a week ago. And a month ago, he posted a 100 Years cover. 2 months ago, a My Chemical Romance cover. So I think maybe it was just, early stuff, but like I think is like really talented. This is the only one of the acoustic covers that wasn't just chords. Like, he started off with the guitar riff from the beginning, but like only on his acoustic, which is really cool. Like, I'm bad at that, so I'm impressed by it. I guess he stopped doing stuff for like 4 years. He didn't have anything on his YouTube for like 4 years, and then over the last couple of years, he's had something every like month or two. So, I like it. I think his voice is interesting. Like, he's got like a fun sort of like energetic, a pop punk voice. I think he'd be. I don't know. He's cool. It's a cool one. And then the next one. Oh, the next one is going to be your favorite because it is the Chiptune cover. I found a Chiptune cover, not from Chiptune Planet. But it's a free download too. From Jack Harteveld on SoundCloud. Here is a Pulp Fiction 8-bit cover. Yeah, so that is the chiptune cover. I like it. I think it's pretty solid. Solid chiptune cover.
Feels like the beginning, the notes are off.
A little bit,
wrong
yeah.
octave. Not sure.
They're not perfect, but I think it sort of works well enough.
Oh yeah.
Here's the sort of breakdown in the middle. I think to me it actually kind of sounds like a video game song at parts. Like, it doesn't, a lot of chiptune songs sound like just an 8-bit cover and nothing else, but like this kind of like doesn't sound like it would be out of place in like a Sonic the Hedgehog game or something.
Yeah. But that's just chiptune though.
16-bit. I know some of them are better than others at doing that, I feel. So I think this one does pretty well at it, in my opinion. This last one, I don't know if I think this is a full band. It says John Alexander Cameron. I don't know if it's got a full band behind him or he just did karaoke or something, but it sounds like a full band. Might be a feminine flaw. Who knows? This is John Alexander Cameron, Pulp Fiction.
In corners at every bend, I wasn't sucking down the poison. I was working on a QT, shaky all over the world. You try to cartwheel at every turn. The creepy crawly's a case of revenge. I had a martyr that I bought her from a band to the bandoliers. Karaoke, her feminine flaw. I had a feeling this was not the end. It's like a
So it's definitely not a karaoke because it does not sound like the original track. So it's a full band basically, which is cool. I like it. It's pretty straightforward though, but good.
You know, I don't fault the covers for not playing the music exactly how they play it. But man, I just love the full band as they play it on this so much that every cover is like, I like the song and you're doing a good job, but you're missing all of the other instruments I like to hear on this.
Well, I mean, I think this last one did it all right, but yeah, I don't know. It's sort of like I did like the second one a lot because it did sort of the thing that we liked last week with Can't Finish What You Started, the one cover where it's, it is a lot different than the original. So like if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna cover a song that's already like pretty great, then you have to do something a little different. Otherwise, what's the point? Kind of like sometimes cool, do your thing, but I feel like I don't get the point if you're not doing something different, which we'll get to when we talk about some of the Motion City covers, like the covers that Motion City Soundtrack did, because some of them are like, yeah, this is a perfectly competent cover of a very good song, but why do it? Because it just sounds like the song, and why would I listen to Motion City Soundtrack's cover of Here Comes the Sun when I can just listen to Here Comes the Sun? All right, the last thing we have, as always, no one covers Motion City like Motion City. Here is the alternative version from the bonus special edition disc, the digital deluxe edition. That's what it was, right? Digital deluxe bonus disc. So it wasn't the Japanese bonus track, although it might have come out in Japan as well. But it's from the deluxe edition bonus disc. It is an alternate acoustic version of Pulp Fiction. So here is that.
Plastic, we all get the end. She had to take it to the majors, couldn't keep it on the down low. Silly rabbit, good grief, Tommy, and another stiff at the scene of the crime. It's like a bad dream, something from the back of a magazine. Black and white and shapely put together like a slasher film. I'm torn in opposite directions. The plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous. And like a nightmare covering the tracks that have brought you there. Paranoid and frozen in the heathers like a slasher film. I'm torn in opposite directions. The plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous. Goddamn, these killings.
So that also has some violin, as well as actually. So the harmonies, I really, really, really like the harmonies in the acoustic version. I think they're so sick. Because I feel there's a lot more of them. I don't know if the harmonies are matte or if they're Kieran Smith. I don't remember if I mentioned that in the actual recording or not so far, but Kieran Smith does backup vocals on violin. It says violin on Pulp Fiction. Is there violin in the original song? I didn't hear any.
I listened to it a lot today and did not hear any.
So what's weird is because I'm looking at the record and it says violin on Pulp Fiction by Kieran Smith, but I don't know if there is any violin on the album version, but there is violin on this version. Maybe there was and we just don't hear it underneath all the other like music. Let me play the end of Pulp Fiction from the original version and see if we hear it there.
I hear it.
I actually do kind of hear it.
Yeah, I heard it.
I think maybe what Jesse plays on the synth in the live shows is the Kieran Smith violin part on the actual recorded album. I'm glad that I read the liner notes because so we hear it in the alternative version heavily, but not necessarily in the recorded version. I mean, we hear it in the recorded version. It's just we didn't. We both listened to the song quite a few times and did not notice it until we read the liner notes. So that's Kieran Smith on violin. I was trying to figure out who Kieran Smith was earlier, and like very hard to Google. I have no idea who Kieran Smith is. He was on Epitaph, but I don't know if he had his own I don't know if he was in a band or what. No, like he did some stuff with Sing It Loud and with Team Spirit and Patent Pending, but I think it was just like signed to a label and didn't really put much stuff out. But yeah, I thought I really like the alternative version. So I think the backing vocals, the harmonies must be Matt. And I really like the harmonies on that song. Like it's real. I think it's really excellent. And Then I Turned 7 is the name of the band that Kieran Smith is violin and guitarist for, or was from 2005 to 2007. And they're from Duluth, Minnesota, so that tracks. Although the band, I think, wrapped in 2007? I don't know. I can't really tell for sure. They changed their name to Jamestown Story. All right. Oh, no, Jamestown Story is just the main... I don't know, man. Yeah, Kieran Smith was in Jamestown Story. Okay, until 2008, which this album came out after then. So I don't know. Anyway, beside the point, Kieran Smith was in a Duluth, Minnesota band, which would make sense because Motion City's from Minneapolis. Yes. Did you have any thoughts on the acoustic version?
You know, all versions by them. Am a fan.
The acoustic version is a lot more clear. The Good Grief Tom Bien, because that's one that you're like I also was never sure. I was like, good Seal Rabbit, Good Dreams till the end, Good Dream Tom Bien.
That's not. I doubted exactly. Just wanted. I wanted. You know.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying like that was a big thing with lyric sites too, because like. Not as much anymore, but I remember when I was first getting into the band, like looking at some of those lyrics, some said till the end, some said Tom Bien. I'm like, he's definitely saying Tom Bien, but then some said good dreams, some said good grief, and it's really, really hard to tell, but it's very, very clear in the acoustic version. So I appreciate that, especially. But I don't know, man. I love the harmonies on it. Like I think it's really sick. I think Matt's excellent. I hope it's Matt, and I'm not giving Matt praise that belongs to, Tony.
Well, whoever did it, they did well.
It's usually Matt, so I'm going to guess it's Matt. I think it's great. Yes. That is it, I think. I think that's all of our things, unless you had any final notes.
Yeah, just, I mean,
it's a great song. I think
whatever song we're covering, just listening to it again, and especially one like this that I've listened to so many times, just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm always gonna say
I think this song could probably use a little bit more Moog to be, in my like best songs list. Although I don't know, like it is, like I've said, like the things that a Motion City song needs are Justin's lyrics, Tony's drums, and a sick Moog part. And I think there's no sick Moog part here, but like Tony's drums, like especially like the closing out drums, like I don't even know how to do it with my mouth. The closing out drums, like I really like I think the drum part here we didn't talk about the drum part at all, but I think it's a really great drum part. And like I like that they got actual violin, but maybe if they just, made that violin a Moog.
I feel like they, it just seems that well, I do like the drums on this. That maybe I'm completely wrong with their intent, but it feels like they were pushing the guitar and the bass to more to the front of the.
Yeah, I mean, well, that makes sense, right? Because this is the album where Tony's arm was broken, so he came in later. Like, I think again, this must be one of the ones that they probably had Claudio track, and then Tony came in later to do the drums for real. So I get that too, but I think the drum part, stands out enough in this song, which is
Oh, for sure.
I think you gotta have trouble a little bit in My Dinosaur Life with the drum part standing up because Tony tracked the drums after everything else, for the most part. So I think in Pulp Fiction, for the drum part to stand out to me, I like, because a lot of times the drum part doesn't stand out to me, even if it's a good drum part. It just doesn't stand out to me, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The drum's not supposed to stand out a lot of the time unless there is a solo. So but it does stand out to me, so I like that. I don't know. All right, that is it for this episode of Motion City Podcast. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we are at Motion City Pod. That is also where we're at on Instagram and patreon.com/Motion City Pod, motioncitypod@gmail.com. I haven't checked any of the email. I'm assuming I don't have any, but who knows? I'll know. If you emailed us, then maybe we'll talk about it next episode. You can follow us individually on Twitter. I'm at Kuhan. Jake is at xfip-, just like he is on genius.com.
And in Josh's Discord.
And in Josh's Discord, you're just xfip, aren't you? Or are you xfip-?
I think I am xfip-.
Oh, okay. All right. So X, that's XFIP, and then the word minus spelled out. And I think those are all of the things. Yeah, I think it's got to be it. So, yeah, until next time, just cover the tracks that have brought you here. No. I swear, we're going to find it. One day we're going to find it. There's got to be. There's nothing in this one?
It's not there, man.
Until next time, I have a feeling this is not the... No. Another stiff at the scene of the... No.
Yes, I had a feeling this was not the end. I have a feeling it's...
No, I don't think so. Till next time, the plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous.
Till next time, bye.
It's like a mad dream, something from the back of a magazine. Black and white and shapely put together like a slasher film. I'm torn in opposite directions. The plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous. And like a nightmare covering the tracks that have brought you there. Paranoid and frozen in the heathers like a slasher film. I'm torn in opposite directions. The plot sucks, but the killings are gorgeous. Goddamn, these killings are gorgeous.